Hello friends on Facebook and YouTube. This is Bryce K. Nielsen with another video. My topic today, Susan Peirce Thompson's program Bright Line Eating helped me lose 102 pounds in 6 months. This is an unusual topic, I suppose, for a challenge like this. It was supposed to be about somebody famous. It was also supposed to be about something that really changed my life. And this definitely qualifies for the second part of that. I'm kind of stretching it on the first one. So this is going to take me back to a struggle I've been having for most of my life, most of my adult life at least. I'd say even as a kid I was eating just as much as I always wanted, and it never really affected my weight until I was about 16 when I started gaining weight. My whole adult life I've been overweight and or obese. Let me try something here more clear on this glasses. Okay. I think you'll find the lighting is a little better from now on. I'm using a light that I ordered from the Hickman's, actually. The Aunt Jessica Hickman store. Anyway, so I have written down some dates. I'm going to go through some numbers. October 26th, 2018, I weighed 273 pounds. 6 months later, on April 24th, 2019, I weighed 171 pounds. It's a loss of 102 pounds. I did all this by reading a book and following what the book said to do. The book is called Bright Line Eating, which is also the name of a website, a community, and a company. And I have some weekly documents where I kept track of my weight throughout the process. And I will also insert in some pictures. Assuming I'm able to find them, that will back up some of these numbers. So I said 273 pounds on October 26th. November 18th, about 3 weeks later, I was down to 250. That's 23 pounds lost. December 28th, about 2 months after I started, I was down to 225. By February 14th, I was down to 200 pounds. 175 on April 14th. And then by April 24th, I was down to 171 pounds. It was 181 days continuously that I followed this program. So let me explain what the program is. Bright Line Eating is a program that is not just about food, but it's also about how you treat your body and your whole attitude. You might say this is a mindset shift around health that preceded my mindset shift when it comes to business. There we go. That reduces the glare. Just the angle of the light, I guess. Okay, so how did I do this? Bright Line Eating is so named because there are 4 bright lines. There are 4. Let me pull up something. I want to quote from something on her website. The core principles of BLE are bright lines, clear, unambiguous boundaries we don't cross, just like a non-smoker doesn't smoke, no matter what. The 4 bright lines are sugar, flour, meals, and quantities. Bright Line Eating is very structured and takes a liberating stand against moderation. We adopt an addiction model because for many people, Eating even a small amount of an addictive food doesn't make the craving go away, it makes it worse. Bright line eating facilitates a paradigm-like identity shift, necessary for people to stick with it long term, get all the way down to goal weight, and happily, gleefully stay there. I'll put a link to the websites in case you want to check it out. But just to explain a little bit about the bright lines, she said they're sugar, flour, meals, and quantities. The sugar means you don't eat any sugar. You don't eat anything that has sugar. Any form of sugar, any artificial or natural sweetener. There are some exceptions to this. You can eat whole fruit. You don't mash it up or turn it into juice or dehydrate it. You can chop it into smaller pieces, it still counts. The reason why fruit is allowed is because there's fiber in there, and the fiber slows down there's two forms of fiber in there, and it slows down the release of the sugar. The reason why sugar is considered addictive is because it hits your brain very quickly, and it affects the pleasure center of the brain. The same part of the brain that's impacted by drugs or sex. So the second one, flour, is for a similar reason. Although it's less research on flour's addictive character than there is for sugar. These can be difficult to cut out of your diet. There's so many processed foods that have them. You have to be very selective in what type of foods you eat. The third and fourth one are about the structure of your eating plan. You eat only 3 meals a day, unless you have a special circumstance requiring you to choose a different number of meals. For most people, it's 3 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You don't eat any snacks. You don't eat any time other than what's on your meal schedule. The meals are normally 4 to 6 hours apart. And then you'll have a period of 12 to 13 hours in between dinner and the following breakfast. The quantities means that you write down, you weigh your food. You weigh exactly how much you're going to eat. You write down your food the day before, so you're not choosing in the moment. The idea is to make it so you're not using willpower to decide what to eat or what not to eat. I'm sure I could do a better job of explaining this if I prepped a little longer. Reviewed my documents. So anyway, I have a checklist. The checklist has, every day it has the things that you check off. Committed your food for the day. Every morning you commit what you're going to eat that day. There's a morning routine where you read something spiritual or uplifting, meditation, posting in the online support community. I didn't have access to that as somebody who just read the book. You have to be part of a membership for the company. Have access to that. I did post a few times on my Facebook profile about what was happening, and I got a lot of encouragement and support just from personal friends. You write in the gratitude journal every night. You also write in a 5-year journal, which is not on this checklist, but you have a journal where you have 5 where you come back to the same page and you write it, and you compare it to where you were a year ago. You write on the same page 5 years in a row. And you also have a food journal where you write down what you're going to eat the following day. So there's a lot of writing in this. You can do it with an app or on your phone. It doesn't have to be paper necessarily. But that's how I do it. You write down your food cravings, amount of hunger, degree of distress, how many days you've been following the program. As I said, I followed 181 days straight and lost 102 pounds. Let me talk a little bit about the author of the book, the creator of this program. Her name is Susan Peirce Thompson. She has a PhD, cognitive and brain science, so she understands very well the scientific research around how the brain works, how food affects the brain. She also has a personal history of struggling with this herself, including being a member of various 12-step groups. And when she found the flour and sugar came from one of her 12-step groups. As I said, I stretched the definition of famous. Susan Peirce Thompson does have over 100. She has about 130,000 likes on her Facebook page. That's a bit less than Ray Higdon, who I've seen someone else on the team doing a video about. I struggled to come up with a person to cover today. I already covered Robert Kiyosaki yesterday, and he's pretty famous. I don't know how other people are defining famous, but I was looking at how many likes they have on their Facebook page, and Robert Kiyosaki had about 4 million. I considered doing Dave Ramsey. He also has about 4 million. And then there was Bob Proctor, who I've already talked about in a bunch of videos, and he has about 1 million likes. And there's another one that I thought about doing, but it has more of a political character to it, so I didn't really want to get into that either. But he's not really he's not really famous except in a particular niche. So anyway, I said that I followed up for 181 days, and I need to give you some more information about what happened after that. I stopped following the plan. So in the last year, I've gone back and forth with it. I've gone back onto it. I've gone off it for a while. I did wind up doing a couple of their programs. The thing is, I know that it can be done because I've done it. I lost 100 pounds in 6 months. But I'm still struggling to stick with the program, and I've just decided to do it again starting tomorrow. So today I faced my fear. That's kind of a theme of my life recently. I faced my fear in the past. Part of the reason why I've been struggling is when I stopped following the plan. I have this crazy thinking in the back of my head that I need to, after I've bought some junk food, I have this crazy thought in the back of my head that I need to eat all of my junk food that I already have before I start eating healthy again. So, and I know that's the addiction speaking and trying to keep me from starting. Let me just say, I'm talking about it as an addiction. There is a scale from 1 to 10. Not everyone is considered equally susceptible to getting addicted to your food. Some people are less affected by it, but I was definitely at a 10 when I took that test. So as I said, there are paid programs. You can do it by following the book. It's generally considered easier if you're part of the Facebook community, which means you join an 8-week boot camp. And I'm now part of a recurring monthly membership that comes after the boot camp, which is called Bright Lifers. I haven't been very active with that, but I'm going to get back into it. But anyway, just knowing that it's possible for me to lose weight by changing the way I eat, that creates a much greater pressure to go back to doing what I know I should be doing. And now that I've got the mindset going in so many other areas of my life, it's time I tackle this as well. And I also want to say my primary goal in doing this program was not to lose weight. It's because I've been having major health challenges caused by eating too much and then getting sick. And I did find, and I was thinking about it again recently, I do have less of an issue with that when I'm following this program. Even if I mess up and eat more than I'm supposed to, if I'm eating the foods that are on the plan, I'm much less likely to get sick. So anyway, this is kind of an unusual topic, and I'm a little bit longer than my other videos, but there's quite a bit to say about this. Like I said, I'm going to look for those photographs, and I'll either add them or I'll put them in a comment along with the link for the website for this program, if anybody wants to look it up. I hope this has been helpful. I can truly say that Bright Line Eating has changed my life. And when I followed it, which is true of anything, when I was following it, anyway, as I was saying before my alarm so rudely interrupted us, when I was following the program, it really made a huge difference in my life. And I've seen other people who saw my post and came into the program, and it really changed their life. So even if you only do it by reading the book, and I should say, I actually didn't buy the book when I was doing the program. I borrowed the audiobook from the library. So I hadn't spent any money to find out how to do this. And there's all sorts of information you can find out about it on the website. Anyway, it really helped me. I admit that Susan Peirce Thompson isn't really famous right now, but she will be, I'm sure, because this is an amazing program. They're compiling studies and to show how effective this is compared with other programs. I'm looking forward to seeing the results of those. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. I'll see everybody around. I'm sure I'll have a more conventional topic related to marketing in some way, or related to self-development in some way. Yeah, this is a form of self-development. What am I saying? It's a different aspect of your life, but it's still important. Being sick has impacted on my ability to spend as much time on the business that I would like. So this even affects my business. So I'll see everybody around. And I'm interested in knowing if anyone else has tried this program, or if anyone else has tried another weight loss program that really worked for you. Feel free to put it in comments. All right. Have a good night.